Hello everyone. I'm Ted. And today we will continue with Chapter 8. Training. Let's start. Organization of a training program. Basic things needed to be established beforehand. Responsibility for training. Top management should lay down the training policy and earmark a specific sum as training budget. The HR department should establish a clear-cut criteria before presenting opportunities to operatives. Shortlisting trainees. The question of who is to be trained, new or old workers, skilled and unskilled, should be given considerable time and attention to avoid problems such as bias, favoritism, and nepotism. Training opportunities must be thrown open to all without any discrimination. Identifying the trainees. Skilled, knowledgeable, and experienced trainers must be identified well in advance. Only competent people should be allowed to handle this job. If required, the trainer identified for this purpose should receive instruction, guidance, and help from senior executives who are versed with the nuances of the game. Determining training content and period. Training materials, including notes, case studies, brochures, manuals, educational films, should also be identified beforehand. Training content should be printed and circulated to all trainees so that they attend classes after some amount of preparation. That the duration of the training needs to be planned according to the nature of the training. Implementation of the program. The actual implementation of the training needs to be done keeping the skill and learning capabilities of the trainees. The trainer must put the trainees at ease. Audio-visual aids, interesting case studies and real-life examples should be used extensively to sustain the interest of audience. Interactive elements encourage the trainees to get involved and make the program participative. Evaluation of a training program. Important method used to evaluate training efforts. Questionnaires. Comprehensive questionnaires could be used to obtain opinions, reactions, and views of trainees. Tests. Standard tests could be used to find out whether trainees have learned anything during and after the training. Interviews. Interviews could be conducted to find the usefulness of training offered to operatives. Studies. Comprehensive studies could be carried out eliciting the opinions and judgments of trainers, superiors, and peer groups about the training. Human resource factors. Training can also be evaluated on the basis of employee satisfaction, which in turn can be examined on the basis of decrease in employee turnover, absenteeism, accidents, grievances, discharges, dismissals, etc. Cost-benefit analysis. The costs of training, cost of hiring trainers, tools to learn, training center, wastage, production stoppage, opportunity cost of trainers and trainees, could be compared with its value, in terms of reduced learning time, improved learning, superior performance, in order to evaluate a training program. Feedback. After the evaluation, the situation should be examined to identify the probable causes for gaps in performance. The training evaluation information, about costs, time spent, outcomes, etc., should be provided to the instructors, trainees, and other parties concerned for control, correction and improvement of trainees. Activities. The training evaluators should follow it up sincerely so as to ensure effective implementation of the feedback report at every stage. Principles of training. Principles of training can be understood with the help of following points. Modeling. Modeling. Modeling is simply copying someone else's behavior. Passive classroom learning does not leave any room for modeling. If we want to change people, it would be a good idea to have videotapes of people showing the desired behavior. The selected model should provide the right kind of behavior to be copied by others. A great deal of human behavior is learned by modeling others. Children learn by modeling parents and older children. They are quite comfortable with the process by the time they grow up. As experts put it, managers tend to manage as they were managed. Motivation. Motivation to learn is influenced by the answers to questions such as, how important is my job to me? How important is the information? Will learning help me progress in the company? People learn more quickly when the training and the subject is important and relevant to them. Learning is also faster and long-lasting when the learner participates actively. Most people, for example, never forget how to ride a bicycle because they took an active part in the learning process. Reinforcement. If a behavior is rewarded, it probably will be repeated. Positive reinforcement consists of rewarding desired behaviors. People avoid certain behaviors that invite criticism and punishment. A bank officer would want to do a postgraduate course in finance, if it earns him increments and makes him eligible for further promotions. Both the external rewards, investments, praise, and the internal rewards, a feeling of pride and achievement, associated with desired behaviors encourage subjects to learn properly. To be effective, the trainer must reward desired behaviors only. If he rewards poor performance, the results may be disastrous. Good performers may quit in frustration. Accidents may go up and productivity may suffer. Feedback. People learn best if reinforcement is given soon after training. Positive feedback, showing the trainee the right way of doing things, is to be preferred to negative feedback, telling the trainee that he is not correct, when we want to change behavior. Speed practice. Learning takes place easily if the practice sessions are spread over a period of time. New employees learn better if the orientation program is spread over a 2 or 3 day period, instead of covering it all in one day. For memorizing tasks, mass practice is usually more effective. Imagine the way school children say the Lord's Prayer aloud. Can you memorize a long poem by learning only one line per day? You tend to forget the beginning of the poem by the time you reach the last stanza. For acquiring skills, as stated by Mathis and Jackson, spaced practice is usually the best incremental approach to skill acquisition, minimizes the physical fatigue that deters learning. Whole learning. The concept of whole learning suggests that employees learn better if the job information is explained as an entire logical process, so that they can see how the various actions fit together into the big picture. A broad overview of what the trainee would be doing on the job should be given top priority, if learning has to take place quickly. Research studies have also indicated that it is more efficient to practice a whole task all at once rather than trying to master the various components of the task at different intervals. Active practice. Practice makes a man perfect, so said Bacon. To be a swimmer, you should plunge into water instead of simply reading about swimming or looking at films of the world's best swimmers. Learning is enhanced when trainees are provided ample opportunities to repeat the task. For maximum benefit, practice sessions should be distributed over time. Applicability of training. Training should be as real as possible so that trainees can successfully transfer the new knowledge to their jobs. The training situations should be set up so that trainees can visualize and identify with the types of situations they can come across on the job. Environment. Finally, environment plays a major role in training. It is natural that workers who are exposed to training in comfortable environments with adequate, well-spaced rest periods are more likely to learn than employees whose training conditions are less than ideal. Generally, learning is very fast at the beginning. Thereafter, the pace of learning slows down as opportunities for improvement taper off. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. This video is brought to you by Bookstune. Like this video to encourage us. Share this video to spread the knowledge. And subscribe to this channel for latest update.